News 7x7 is a unique channel dedicated to the news from dairy industry. Every week you receive brief on top 7 dairy news on this YouTube channel from India and abroad. These news could be seen in detail on our channel dairynews7x7.com also. You may write in the comment box on the dairy topics of your interest. We will try to develop news feature on the same. Your constant feedback and patronage to this channel is our source of top 7 dairy news from the week of May 9th will cover. Pulses milk prices fall. Is the worst of food inflation over? 4 dairy organizations seek inclusion in Rajasthan government's cash support scheme to dairy farmers. Cow's milk production more than buffaloes in India now. Anand Agriculture University and Amul Dairy ink MOU for liquid biofertilizer technology. Assam government inks pact with NDDB to enhance milk output to 1 million litre per day. How food choices can help the planet when over 37% of GHG are from food. New Zealand's dairy industry should stop pretending sustainability. The fall in global SMP and butterfat prices should put a lid on inflation in milk and dairy products in India. Is the worst of food inflation, 8.38% year on year in April, over? Some hope is provided by milk, which has the highest weight among food items in the consumer price index after cereals and also pulses. International prices of dairy commodities have fallen off a cliff in the past month, and the effects are percolating to India as well. Milk fat prices were also partly rising along with vegetable fats, especially palm oil, said RSOD MD Amul. Since mid-April, dairies have lowered prices of SMP and white butter produced from buffalo milk from Rs 320 per kg to Rs 300 per kg and Rs 375 per kg to Rs 365 per kg respectively. Cow milk SMP have also dropped from 315 per kg to 295 per kg in Karnataka and from Rs 295 per kg to 275 per kg in Maharashtra. Yellow cow butter from Rs 405 per kg to 395 per kg in Karnataka and from Rs 400 per kg to Rs 380 per kg in Maharashtra. The early pre-monsoon showers in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, normally from around the first week of May, it was 15 days early this time, will lead to more milk production. The lower SMP and fat realization have already led Maharashtra dairies to reduce milk procurement prices from Rs 35-36 per litre till May 5th, has now cut it by Rs 1 per litre. As per Dashrath Mane from Sonai Dairy, there are chances for further downward price, though it is unlikely to go below Rs 30 to 31. The 4 organizations Pious Dairy, Sakhi Dairy, Asha Dairy and Ujala Dairy have sought Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot's intervention for their inclusion in Rs 5 per litre Mukhyamantri Dugdh Utpadak Sambal Yojana, a cash support scheme of the state government. The chairpersons of these organizations, Mamta Chaudhary, Pious Dairy, Jaipur, Manjeet Kaur, Sakhi Dairy, Alwar, Kanya, Asha Dairy, Udaipur and Anju Kevat, Ujala Dairy Kota, said the disparity created by their exclusion from the scheme could pose serious hardships for the members. As per the statement, the 4 organizations have been established by the dairy farmers by investing their own money as share capital. They jointly collect over 10 lakh litres of milk every day from their members, for which payments are made directly into their bank accounts in a cycle of 3 times a month. These organizations have operations in and around 22 districts out of the total 33 districts of the state. Asha, Sakhi and Ujala Dairy have 100% participation by women producers. Latest data of 2021 shows that cows accounted for 51%, buffaloes 45% and goats 3% of the total milk produced in the country at 209.96 million metric ton, which is 27% higher than it was 5 years ago. From a dairy farmer's point of view, cows are now becoming a more lucrative option thanks to crossbreeding. Of the 51% milk supplied by cows in 2021, indigenous and non-descriptive cow accounted for only 20%, while the remaining 31% was yielded by crossbred cows at 28% and exotic cows at 3%. And it's the latter two that are fueling the rise in yield. The DAHD statistics show that on average, a crossbred cow yields about 7 to 8 kg of milk every day, which is more than double what indigenous and nondescript desi cows yield of 2.4 to 3 kg per day. The Anand Agriculture University has signed an MOU with Amul Dairy for transfer of liquid biofertilizer technology that helps reducing excessive use of chemical fertilizers in farming. The MOU was signed by Director of Research and Dean of Postgraduate Studies Dr. M.K. Jhala and Amul Dairy's Managing Director Amit Vyas in presence of AAU Vice Chancellor Dr. K.B. Kathiria. Jhala said the MOU is meant for not only promoting the market and business of low-cost, reliable and demand-driven production of liquid biofertilizer, but also effectual technology transmission for changing mindset of farmers to reduce excessive use of chemical fertilizers. The biggest challenge for any game-changing technology is adoption on a larger scale by common masses, said Amul Dairy's chairman Ram Singh Parmar. Kathiria said the global brand value of Amul and AAU will certainly act as most active catalyst to safeguard larger interest of the farmers and environment. In a bid to enhance the daily milk output in the northeastern state to over 1 million litres per day, the Assam government inked a memorandum of understanding with National Dairy Development Board for a 5-year period. According to the agreement, NDDB would oversee the managerial operation of East Assam Milk Producer Cooperative Union Limited. The MOU will benefit a huge number of milk farmers from eastern districts of Assam. A cattle feed plant at Changsari for production of nutritious concentrated cattle feed has also been commissioned. Addressing the milk cooperative union from across northeastern regions, Sharma underlined the importance of bringing together the dairy cooperatives from all over the region. Global, industrial and individual reshift needed. Share. A new book published by researchers at the University of Sydney and Curtin University explores how global food production and consumptions are impacting the environment and contributing to emissions. The food choices we make, the way we eat, and the world's food production systems have an enormous impact on the climate and environment, with food production contributing over 37% of the world's greenhouse gas emissions. The authors argue that going flexitarian, a diet that is comprised predominantly of plant-based foods but does not cut only any food group entirely, would drastically reduce greenhouse emissions. Greenhouse gas emissions are growing, with the global population set to reach 8.5 billion by 2030. This means the production and farming of good and agriculture system is putting enormous strain on the environment through loss of biodiversity, deforestation, loss of savannas, plastics pollution, exhausting of the planet's soils, freshwater overuse and species exploitation. Climate change is being supercharged by humankind. In 2020, WWF found that agriculture practices led to a reduction in global wildlife of 68% between 1970 and 2016. Emissions from fishing are also on the rise with commercial trawling. New Zealand dairy industry is under pressure. It is one of their biggest earners, accounting for roughly 3% of their GDP. And since cows were first brought here about 200 years ago, dairy farming has taken on cultural significance for Pakeha, New Zealand Europeans especially. But it is also attracting increasing scrutiny. As well as polluting their land and waterways, dairy is to blame for large amounts of greenhouse emissions. The industry received even more unwanted attention recently with the release of award-winning documentary Milked, which follows Maori activist Chris Huriwai as he reflects on his Awa River and exposes the negative impacts of dairy for the world. And in March, SAFE, New Zealand's leading animal rights organization, launched its Done with Dairy campaign highlighting its harms. In response to such criticism, the dairy industry is fighting for credibility. One strategy it appears to be using is what we might call pie washing, like whitewashing, which aims to cover up unpleasant facts, or greenwashing, which paints organizations as more environmentally friendly than they really are. It is a cynical attempt to convey the impression that everything is all good with this extremely harmful practice of dairying in New Zealand. Thanks for watching Dairy News 7x7 channel with news update from last 7 days. To continue receiving update from this channel, I Kuldeep Sharma request you to subscribe this channel and share and like the video, and also don't forget to press the bell icon. Thank you.